Good afternoon and welcome to the Living Well radio program. You can find us here every Wednesday at 1 p.m. on KATB 89.3 in Anchorage as well as KJLP 88.9 in Palmer. You can also catch us online at katb.org. My name is Cammie and I'm here with my co-host Betty. How are you doing today, Betty?
I'm doing good. And Cammie, tell them about your promotion.
Oh, I am over here running the show. Tom has given up the reins, and I am pushing buttons. I have all kinds of toys over here, so who knows what's going to come of this day.
You have the power.
Are you enjoying your lunch over there?
Thank you. Yes, I am.
Oh, good.
I didn't want my tummy to rumble on the show.
Okay, very good. I'm glad you put it away for now,
did.
though. We'll come back to that later. I know I tried to sneak a muffin over here, and then Tom put me to work, so... Here we go.
He's like that. He's a taskmaster.
I am telling you. But I'll tell you what, we have got a house full today. We are so excited to have Sherry and Nikki with the MOPS ministry here with us today, and we're just going to have a ton of fun. And we've had a hard time getting started because we're having so much fun here as it is. But thank you, ladies, so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you in the studio today. And, the whole intent of having this program is just to get the word out about the ministries that exist right here in our own state and rather even just in our own community. So that's what we want you to do here today, and know that you'll do a great job doing that. So if you could just take a minute, though, and tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us the 411.
My name is Sherry, and I have 4 kids that are 6 through 12 years old, and I have been going to MOPS for probably 6 years, maybe 7 years, and been a coordinator or co-coordinator for the last 4, I believe.
And my name's Nikki. I have been married for 11 years and have an almost 3-year-old little girl, and just the one. And I've been attending MOPS for as long as she's been around. And this is my first year serving as the co-coordinator with Sherry, and it's been really, really fun.
Awesome. I'll bet that's fun to work together in this endeavor.
I think it is, right? Yeah, she nods.
She's making
nodding.
sure.
Yeah.
She's not sure. For those
I
of
don't
you,
talk. Nikki talks, so I just nod and she keeps
I'm the
talking.
talker. That's right. She's the behind-the-scenes lady, and I'm the stand up in front, do a song and dance kind of lady. I don't
Literally.
All right, so share with us a little bit about what drove you towards this passion to serve in this capacity through this ministry.
I was serving in a backstage kind of role and had a friend that we both went to the state leaders convention for MOPS, and she came away going, we could do this. And so we did for a year, and then she moved. So then I took it over and did it for a couple years with a team of ladies, but me coordinating. And then Nikki expressed some interest in helping out, and I said, yes, come do it. So she's been helping out this year. It's been awesome.
So first, before we go any further, I think we probably need to explain to everybody what MOPS is.
Oh, the
MOPS
great
is not
idea,
a
Betty. It's not a house cleaning service.
No. We get together and we talk about all the cleaning projects like Ajax. And
I'm so glad you pointed that out, Betty. People are going, I need a house cleaner.
Well, when I Googled
You guys
MOPS,
are getting all kinds of calls.
when I Googled MOPS online, it came up with all different brands of mops that you could buy in the latest sale at Target and Walmart. So we need to explain what MOPS is.
MOPS is Mothers of Preschoolers, and so we are a group that gets together. We get together every other Friday morning at from 10 until 12. And we provide just a little break for moms. They come and they bring their kids, and we put them in childcare. And we have lessons. We talk about God a lot.
Good.
Yeah,
that's
it's important. And I think the moms really benefit from the break that they get. Just 2 hours where they just get to decompress from everything that's been going on. Do you have a better way of summarizing it?
Not a better way, just, we have different topics that we cover on each meeting. So it could be, something like how to present Easter to your children. Or it could be, different. We've done, how to repurpose things in your home. Or we've done, it could be a whole range of topics, but things that would be interesting to moms of preschoolers.
Yeah, we do crafts and things too sometimes. So that's always fun for women to come away from with a little artsy thing, or
Something they actually had time to finish.
right. Yeah, we always
really the
find
key,
yeah,
isn't it?
if you don't do it there, it's not going to get
It's
done.
not going to be done.
I wonder how many have unfinished crafts at home.
I have several.
Okay, Nikki, now tell us how you got involved in MOPS.
So I got involved in MOPS when I had a friend who is currently attending MOPS with us. It really encouraged me to go when I was pregnant. And I was like, no way. Like, you can't go when you don't have any kids. And she's like, you're pregnant. You should go. It's amazing. It will be such a support for you. And so I didn't until after I had my daughter. And I was so glad when I started attending because I was miserable with loneliness. I was incredibly lonely, just like, doing the 2, 5, and 6 a.m. feedings and all that when you feel like the only person in the world that's up, and it's so dark here, at least it was at that time of year, and I just was so incredibly lonely. And so I went to MOPS, and I feel like I just talked everyone's ear off. Like, I just couldn't stop talking. Number one, I am a talker. We've already established that. But then I get there and I just kind of like word vomit all over these people at my table. And they promised me that I didn't. But I feel like I did because I needed it so badly. I needed the companionship. I desperately just needed other moms to talk to what I was going through and for them to go, yes, that is totally normal.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there. And it was just so healing for me to be surrounded by other women who understood what I was going through.
So I just want to kind of go through the basic questions. So thank you for sharing that. And you might have already touched a little bit on these areas, but I just kind of want to take it through what does a typical meeting look like? What time do you meet? Where do you meet? Give us kind of those basic details.
Sure.
So we meet every other Friday morning. So, and then we meet during the school year. So we started September and then we go through the middle of May, and we have been meeting every other Friday morning from 10 o'clock until noon, and we meet at ABT in their VIP room. And so we generally have some greeters out front, so as people are coming in, they kind of know where to find us. We have a big MOPS sign we hang outside, so they know which entrance to use.
Mm-hmm.
And then as they come in, we have a registration table that they can, sign up for different stuff or pay. We have meeting dues, so they can take care of that or go do their childcare, find out where their kids need to check in for childcare and things like that. So, so they would do that, and then typically our first probably 10 or 15 minutes, we have different table groups that are assigned to bring snacks each time, so they can come in and have something hot to eat.
Yay. And hot coffee.
And get to sit down and eat it while it's still hot. Mm-hmm. And then typically we'll start our meeting and do some fun door prizes or games or something, and then move on into whatever the topic is for the day.
Okay. And so you might have already touched on this too, but who typically attends a MOPS meeting?
Like what age group of mothers? And
Yeah.
just moms of 0 through kindergarten. Is it through kindergarten? Like their kid can be in kindergarten while they attend. So be pregnant or have a brand new baby all the way through the end of kindergarten.
Now, that's
And
not
that's-
the only age that attends.
No.
You do have,
Go ahead, Betty.
because you do have mentor moms that
do.
are
We
older.
have fabulous mentor moms.
Yes, you
Really
do.
Betty's one of them.
No, our mentor moms play such a key role, I think, in the lives of our moms who attend. Just amazing advice and amazing, just to see how you can come out on the other side of this chaotic, crazy life that we are in the midst of. And they're so encouraging. It's just so encouraging to see them and just ask our questions. And we actually have one of our door prizes that we give away each time is, I'm going to say it wrong because I say it wrong every time.
Start with Mocha.
Mocha with a mentor. And so it's like a date that we give away with either Betty or Loretta, who is our other mentor mom. And from what I've heard of the people who have taken advantage of it, they seem to really enjoy it. So
I know I've enjoyed it, and from talking to Loretta, she has too. Just some one-on-one time with the moms that you get maybe 10 or 15 minutes during MOPS with the moms, but when we take them on a date, so to speak, we get 2 hours of their attention, and we just talk. It's just building relationships.
Yeah, I think it's so nice up here too, because there's so many people that are here without family, and so you can kind of get that multi-generational perspective on what
Mhm.
you're doing that is not necessarily a part of other ministries.
And so-
I like that.
Speaking of which, so now Betty, you're putting on a different hat because now you're my guest as well. So
Welcome, Betty.
Right.
I didn't
Gotcha.
expect that, but that is so neat. I forgot that you served through this ministry as well. So now I'm interviewing you.
All right.
As a mentor mom, what would you say? I mean, what kind of challenges do you see these women facing in this season of life?
Loneliness. I think with this particular MOPS group of moms this year, we would all agree one of the things that we have heard is how these moms want to know, they desire to know how to be a godly wife and how to be a godly mother. And so they are desperately searching for someone to teach them that. They want to know what the Bible says. They want to know how to apply the scripture to their life. And that's what their questions, 99% of the time, that's the questions they have. And they want to do life with someone a little bit older, someone that has been through it. You know, you and I have talked before, if people look at our lives right this minute, they would think, oh, you've got a perfect life. What they don't know is the struggles that we've had 25 years ago, what we have come through.
That's right.
Because, you know, no marriage is perfect
Right.
and no children are perfect.
Nope.
You know, all of us have had to learn how to go through different circumstances in order to be where we're at now. And what do you all agree? I mean, I think that's
Absolutely.
one of the biggest things I have seen this year in this particular group of women.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to actually adjust kind of our lessons in the middle of the year. Not lessons, I don't know what you would call them. Topics that we, in the middle of the year, to just kind of adapt to that, because we just felt like our ladies were looking for something more. And so we just kind of said, let's rethink this. Let's restructure our year, and revamped all our topics to be kind of more God-centered. And because it seems like that's what they wanted. That's what they needed.
Yeah. And so what would be some of the topics you guys have covered this year?
Ooh.
How to pray for your children.
Yeah. And we actually did that twice. We did a part 1 and a part 2 because the women had the first one and they were like, more, please, more. And yeah.
We've had topics on organization. We've had topics. Sherry just taught a class on
Emergency preparedness.
emergency preparedness, but she took it
yeah.
from how to be prepared for any accident or anything that might happen to, she gave the gospel message.
And so just kind of talk to people about how, you know, in emergencies and all of this disaster preparedness we hear about all the time, we tell our kids where to meet us or who our outside contact is or how we're going to, you know, get back together. And I said, you know, why would we not leave an exit strategy with our kids for our life? Why would we not tell the people that are the most important to us where to find us if something tragic did happen? And, you know, so just kind of taking that minute to say, you know, okay, my child might be 3 or 4, but I can say, Mommy's saved. Mommy's going to go to heaven. You know,
That's
I mean, you
right.
don't have to be morbid, but you know,
Exactly.
just saying,
Let them know.
this is where you would find me, and I know it, and you can know it, and this is
And you can be
this
there
is
too.
what would happen.
Yeah.
And so, you know, just giving them that strategy to, you know, to have some of those conversations that sometimes we go, my kid's 3. I don't know how to say that, or I never thought that I needed to say that, or, you know, things like that maybe we don't consider.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and just bringing awareness to that and then kind of guiding them through what that might look like and how to apply it to their lives. Very helpful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm sitting here thinking is I always think of new ministries when we're looking talking to people about their
dear.
ministries.
Sounds like
She's
more
about
work.
to, she's going to volunteer us. That's what's
We
about
need
to happen.
mothers of high schoolers. I'm just saying that could be a very good
I
thing.
could
Mothers
see
of
that, yeah.
teenagers.
The only problem is the acronym. I'm not sure how that would work.
MOTS.
MOTS.
We've had people ask about a fathers of preschoolers group, but FOPS just I thought MOPS was bad. FOPS is worse.
I know this week Nikki is speaking. She's going to, am I correct?
In April. Yep. Yeah, I'm going to be talking a couple of the meetings we've done now. We've told our personal stories of our histories and struggles or praises and all that. And I'm going to be sharing my story.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. That
Yeah.
is. So how does somebody learn about these meetings and where to attend? Where would they, if they're not engaged in a church that's offering it, how would they learn about MOPS?
MOPS actually is a national organization, So there's a website at mops.org. They could go and search, I think by zip code, you can search and see if there's a group that's operating in your area. And so then you can go and look that up and see what's there. And generally it'll tell you like when they meet and, you know, some basic things, a contact. You can contact groups through that website and ask questions. So.
Okay.
And we personally have a MOPS at ABT Facebook page where we do a lot of our informational posts and things like that to share about our particular meetings, because we are the only MOPS international group in Anchorage. There are other mommy groups and things like that, but we're the only MOPS group.
And so what would a first-time visitor experience attending your guys' meeting for the first time? What would it look like? So you mentioned the signs at the front, which I think is great. You know, sometimes we can overlook simple little things like that that make somebody feel comfortable just walking through this building is huge. So tell me what else. What would a first-time mom experience her first time she comes?
They would, like Sherry said, they'd come in the door, they'd get registered, they'd hopefully be directed, if not shown, where to take their kids, that they're going to a safe place, and that we have great workers that work with our kids. And they actually get we have a really, really great child care coordinator this year who actually has been doing lessons on fruits of the spirit this year, and they've been loving it, like loving it. I hear that the kids are coming home and just sharing it with their parents. Anyway, so they take their kids upstairs, and then they get to come home. It's home to me. Come down and they sit at their newly assigned table where they'll get to meet a bunch of ladies that are at their table and hopefully get some fellowship time with them, get some, like Sherry said, some hot food and some hot coffee, and then really just get some talk time, but then also get a really great topic and lesson for while they're there. And we really try and foster a lot of that fellowship time. I really try and build that into the schedule because that's really what they're all there to do, is just to talk, right? At least I was when I first started attending. So.
And then each table has a table leader or a mentor mom at each table, right?
A table leader.
Okay.
Yeah, there's usually a table leader. At this point, I feel like we have at least 2 people from our leadership team, whether they're a mentor mom or a table leader or just me who stands up in front and does the song and dance. We have 2 leadership team members at each table. So there's people who will help guide conversations, and we have usually discussion questions after each topic so that we can all kind of chat about it. And it's just really great to just sit and talk.
Are all the moms, I'm sorry, Candy.
No, go for it.
Are all the moms that attend this MOPS program from ABT?
No. We are at about 50%.
It's about half and half.
Each way right now at ABT or ABT members versus other churches. So we welcome people from other churches, and it's actually really fun to kind of just get connected with people around the city. I think it's great.
And
Definitely.
they don't necessarily have to be a member of a church to come, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. And even if you wanted to join us and possibly serve on leadership, there are roles that you can do that don't require you to attend the church, or, you can get involved and serve too.
I'm glad you asked that. That was my next question.
Yeah.
So they would just contact you if there's somebody's listening that, says, hey, I'd like to offer some mentorship through that ministry. There's ways that they could do that.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, we can get them involved in different areas and things within MOPS. Yeah. It's great.
Sounds good. I really like the structure that comes around this ministry because, sometimes being new to something, you think, well, they probably all know each other really well. And as a woman, that can kind of create an uncomfortable environment. But it sounds like you guys have the things in place to make anybody feel welcome their first time around.
Can a mom join anytime throughout the year?
Yes.
Anytime throughout the year, and because there's like a $25 fee that goes to MOPS International, but that is transferable. So, occasionally we've had military moms or whatever that come into town that say, I was a member somewhere else, and we can go look that up, and it just transfers. But so they can join any time of the year, and they're getting ready to announce their new themes and things for next year, so they're gearing up for that.
Can I ask you, what has been one of your favorite topics, one of the favorite things that has happened this year? Because the year's just about to come to an end. As we know it.
Betty's Thanksgiving cooking demo.
I forgot about that.
Betty does an amazing Thanksgiving cooking demo and brings in turkey and stuffing and demos dessert, and I have to say that's one of the best attended meetings of the year.
For sure.
Forgot about
Betty
that.
and her cooking. It's always a big hit.
But
Gosh.
we give it away as door prizes. So I
Yes.
don't have to take it
Yep.
home.
Gosh, a favorite thing for me about this year in particular, I can't remember the topics. I feel like it's it's all a blur. I don't know if it's because I'm the one standing up in front. I don't know. But I mean, my favorite thing about MOPS in general is being part of the leadership team, and I think that's why I bring it up so much, is because it has been such a support to me. Whereas going to MOPS on Fridays is wonderful, and I think it's a blessing. I think it's a blessing to anyone who attends, but I feel like being part of the leadership team and that small group of women that have gotten really close, but through leadership, has been such an encouragement to me, and such a blessing, because we do get together outside of one time a month outside of the regular MOPS meetings to talk about our schedule and our meetings and our women that are attending.
Anything else you'd like to add about being a mentor mom, Betty? How has that been a blessing to you?
I love my MOPS group. I'm just happy they allow me to come at my age, and that they will let me sit at their tables, and they let me hug them, and sometimes they'll come and hug me. I feel very privileged just to be a part of the group. And the leadership team is awesome. They meet through the summer and literally plan the entire year. Sherry works us to death. We have a schedule, and we have to stick to it.
That's right.
There's no deviation.
No talking.
I'm not invited.
And Nikki is a party waiting to happen. So she continually disrupts.
It's a good
It's-
thing we love her.
So it's a wonderful ministry. I feel very privileged to be a part of it. I've met lots of young moms, new moms, and it really is. It's a blessing.
When you think back to your years being a mom, raising preschoolers, Betty, what would this ministry have meant to you to be a part
Wow.
of something like this?
I would have seen hope. There was days. I say this all the time. I don't know how in the world my kids made it, because I had no clue what I was doing. I'd never babysat a child. I'd never given a baby a bath, fed him a bottle. I don't even think I'd changed a diaper. And I remember the first time I had to give my oldest one a bath, I just cried. And my husband said, "What in the world's wrong?" And I said, "I don't know how to do this." And he said, "Well, just think back to when you were babysitting." And I said, "I never babysat." And he sat back and his eyes got real big and he said, "What? You never did any babysitting?" I said, "No." So we were kind of in a little bit of a bind there, but she survived. It wasn't because I knew what I was doing. So it would have been a tremendous help to me.
Well, and I think too, as I just think back to those years as well, of having that outlet to relate to other women, and then you don't have to put that burden on your husband, right?
Adult
When they come home
conversation.
from work, and they need time to kind of unwind and switch gears as well. But yet you've got that outlet you can look forward to in the week to come, or that you just had in attending. So I could see
think-
that being
Sometimes too, like one of the topics we have coming up later this spring is help. I don't know what I'm doing. And we're just going to kind of throw stuff out, and we'll have a panel of moms up there from leadership team and whatever, and just say, I have a child that refuses to potty train, and some of that is just saying, it's okay there too,
Yeah.
and some of it is saying, okay, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Whatever, but you get the other ideas, either of people that have been there already, or, people that are doing it right now too, and going, I know the same thing. My kid is, driving me crazy. So, just having that ability to go, like Nikki was saying, I'm not the only one that's up at 3:00 in the morning feeding my baby again.
Yeah.
It's nice to.
Well, and here's the thing. So even though we live in this social media driven world, it's like you can get on Pinterest and Facebook and you can see other people. Obviously, other people are experiencing these things too, but nothing impacts you like being able to actually speak about those things in person and actually have a face to connect to somebody who can relate to you. So
Right.
nothing can really replace having that community in person of
Right.
kind of going through this season of life.
Well, honestly, sometimes getting on Pinterest depresses me because I've yet
overwhelming.
to have anything
Turn out
turn
that
out
way.
that way. I mean, I have all the fails, that you hear about.
You should have a
so-
Pinterest
We need
fail
to know what
website.
not to do.
I know what not to do, and so I kind of stay away. I mean, I like looking at Pinterest, but it's so overwhelming to me. And at MOPS, it's real.
Yeah.
Well, and so much of what's on Facebook, is here's my beautiful dinner, and here's my beautiful new living room, or here's my beautiful new painted walls, and
Yeah, behind
I'm
them is
looking
the
at
kids
my
and
wall
she-
with the crayon, and my macaroni and cheese from last night that I heated up because I'm on the couch again, and whatever, and it's like, oh, this is so, I'm the only one that this is happening to, and it's really not true.
Yeah, nobody puts that on Facebook, do they?
No. And I feel like that's something too that we talked about at the beginning of this year was we wanted this to be a safe place where the women could come and be honest with each other and be comfortable enough to to have those serious conversations and break down if they needed to break down. I feel like the last MOPS meeting, I was in tears, just, bawling my eyes out to the women at my table because there's stuff going on in my life. And I felt comfortable and I felt safe to share those things with them.
Well,
Establish that community.
That
with
trust,
them.
absolutely.
The last meeting we had a woman share her story of tragedy within her family and how they came out of it, how God brought them through it. Things are much better now, but it was devastating for the entire family, and a lot of the women could relate.
Yeah. She said, pain is pain, no matter how big, no matter how small. And it just hit us all so hard.
Anything else you guys would like to add regarding this ministry?
I would encourage any mom to
Oh,
get
yeah.
involved. Even, I know it's moms of preschoolers, but even if you're older like me, you can come and love on these mothers. But especially moms of preschoolers, it's a great place for them to be, a great place for them to get encouragement and see that there's hope, that there's life. Life does go on, but it's also a place for them to learn more about what God says about being a mom.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us again one more time, where can they find you guys and learn about this opportunity or this ministry?
So we have the Facebook page, which is MOPS at ABT, and they can like that, and that we post all of our event meeting notices and stuff there, so they would see when the meetings are coming up. It's on the website at mops.org. They could search there, and they would find the group too. And then, obviously, like our bulletin for the church is online, so that would have meeting information as well.
Okay. Great. Well, listen, I just love this so much, Betty. Don't you?
Yes.
Being able to, these women, they live and breathe right here in our own community. Like, we have access to them. And so I just love what we're able to do through this program is get the word out. This stuff is here. You don't have to go alone and get depressed and isolate yourself in this season of life. And there's opportunities not only to be served, but also to serve.
Right.
So we want to definitely accentuate that as well. Do you have anything else you want to say, Betty, before
I
we?
love these girls. I have the best time with them.
And we love you, Betty.
They
Don't ever leave.
They make me feel younger.
Love you, Betty.
Well, thank you again for joining us. Again, we've got Sherry and Nikki with us here with the Mothers of Preschoolers Ministry right here in Anchorage, Alaska. We look forward to you guys looking them up and finding out how you can get better involved in this ministry. Again, this is Living Well radio program. You can catch us here every Wednesday at 1 p.m. on KATB 89.3 in Anchorage, as well as KJLP 88.9 on Palmer. You can also catch us online at katb.org.